morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Ingram Jones and I have with me today another special guest. We're talking middleweights, we're talking Great Britain, we're talking about the British middleweight champion, Nick Blackwell. Nick, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm all good, thanks, buddy. How you been?
I'm great. Finally, we get this interview going. I remember talking to you, I think, after you'd lost to Billy Joe Saunders. And, I think it was in the later rounds, and you really did push Billy Joe Saunders in that fight. And I thought to myself, you know what? This guy will end up, and he'll go on and he'll win the British title. You have indeed done that, and let's get going. So, tell the fans a little bit more about who Nick Blackwell is.
Chilled out, down on my guy, I'm like keeping fit. I started boxing when I was 16. I went to the gym just purely for fitness and does a bit of self-defense. Got a decent split like most people do. And then I ended up doing the in-license route. Didn't know no different. Thought it was the way to go. I had 18 in-license fights, won them all. Stopped 16 of them, most of it was because I was a lot fitter than most of the lads. I was fighting people, fully grown men when I was 16, 2 freestyle heavier than me. So no guys, 10 ounce gloves. So it was basically I was fighting like a pro against fully grown men. Turned pro when I was 18. And basically went from there, and I've enjoyed it. I just really enjoy it. It's like the whole training camp, the whole build up to it, the nerves on the night, and then I was getting your arm raised after the fight, which I'm starting getting used to. It's been a long, rocky track, but just the hard work I've been putting into it, commitment, it's finally starting to pay off now.
You have an interesting background because, of course, you came from the unlicensed background. So, can you tell me how that differs from the unlicensed background to obviously the licensed background in terms of, the difference for you?
Yeah, well, obviously in the amateurs, they got good pedigree. They do the basics, got good foot movement, they got fast hands, they do all the basics very well. Me, I was just a fighter. I was just going in there and just trying to beat somebody up. That was me, and naturally, I'm quite tough, I'm quite strong, I'm quite fit, so it worked quite well for me. And obviously when you go pro, obviously the opposition, the level, it steps up. Do you know what? And people say, will I change it? No, I wouldn't change it because I might not be where I am now if I didn't Indian license. I suppose I'm very experienced for a 25-year-old. A 25-year-old pro. I've been there. I've sort of done quite a lot in such a short space of time. I'm still young. I've learned from that. As I didn't do the amateur background, and now I'm just that was my apprenticeship, and now I'm actually starting to go on and be a proper pro. Do it the right way,
Yeah, there are some things in your record. I mean, you fought Martin Murray, but you fought Martin Murray when you were really young in your career. How many fights did you have when you fought Martin Murray?
I wasn't beaten, and I just felt invincible.
Yeah.
A lot of fighters, they get looked after a lot, and they just think they're invincible until you do step up in opposition. And some people either come back strong or they come back worse. And it was a fight I wouldn't change. Went in with an injury. I actually went in with a cracked rib. So I was in agony before I even went in the fight. Martin Murray, he's a class operator, and back then I was a kid. I was a light middleweight, probably, at best. Went in against Martin Murray, I think I was going to beat him. And obviously, I had to retire in the 5th, 6th round, whichever it was, but got the experience from that, and I got stronger from that fight.
You did get stronger from that fight. You went on for Billy Joe Saunders as well.
Yeah, I fought Billy Joe. He had a very good amateur pedigree, and then he boxed very well for first half of the fight, and I sort of wore him down. I started getting to him, but I wasn't throwing my shots. My trainer, who I was back with then, he started at the same sort of time as me, so we both learned together along the route. If I had someone like Gary Lockett in my corner, he's been there, he's done it, and he gave me the right advice in that corner. It could have been a different fight, but everything happens for a reason. And with Gary now, I'm learning a lot. I won't be making the mistakes now. I'm learning all the time in the gym, doing the basics.
I know you say that everything happens for a reason. There's another gentleman in another division, just a little higher than you, that says everything happens for a reason as well. His name's George Groves. He's making a comeback soon. He says everything happens for a reason. For you, that reason seems to be a good thing because you met with Gary Lockett. And Gary
Yeah,
Lockett is... Go ahead.
Gary Lockett, yeah, he's a top man, he's a wicked man, and I was going there doing a lot of sparring with the Liam Williams and the Alex Hughes back in the day, and we'd doing regular sparring, and I started going off my own, and Gary was just pointing things out to me when my trainer wasn't there, what I wasn't doing, simple, basic things, what I obviously didn't have the amateur background, so I wasn't doing these basic things, I haven't had it drummed into me, so it was just, I drove away from the gym once, and I felt that big, I felt like I just should give it all in, I'm not good enough. And I thought, you know what? I said, if I'm going to get any better, I need to make a big decision and leave my first trainer and go and ask Gary Lockett to take me on. And it was a big decision for me because the bloke that was training for us, he was, we were like, from day one, it was sort of done everything together, so it was a big decision. And when I pressed up the courage to do it, it's the best move I've ever made. It's the best move I've ever made, and I'm learning every single day in the gym. I come out of the gym every day thinking I've learned from it. And with my last trainer, I felt like I've gone backwards. So it's only a positive thing. I'm surrounded in such good lads as well. I've got Liam Williams, I've got the Alex Hughes, I've got Enzo McNally, I've got the Gavin Reeves walking in and out. I just got such good company around me, the good sparring in the gym. We're all competing against each other, and it's just really good vibes, and we're all bringing each other on in different ways,
That's a key thing you mentioned there, and it's a key moment in your career because your career could have gone either one of two ways. Because if you'd stuck with the trainer that you had, do you think you would achieve the things you would achieve now in your career?
No, definitely not. Do you know what? Gary Lockett said this to me, and he nailed it on the head. I got quite far and done well for doing everything wrong. So imagine how far I can go when I'm doing everything right, and it's going to take time. I've been with Gary nearly a year now, and I'm starting to see some massive differences in the gym.
Yeah.
What I need to do now is obviously bring that into my fight. And with this Eubank fight, everything's fallen into place, absolutely spot on. Everything's perfect. I'm always fit anyway. I'm always 12 round fit. I'm always training, not just because a fight could come up. I just generally do like training and staying fit and healthy. So everything's going. Everything's just I feel mentally good, I feel physically good already, and I've still got still got a good 7-8 weeks, So
you fought a lot of guys, good guys in your career, like you said. We've talked about the Martin Murray fight. We've talked about the Billy Joe Saunders fight. You fought Ryder, beat him.
Max Berzak, I fought him. In Backyard, I fought Kamitsky.
Yes.
Ryder.
There you go.
Go
ahead.
The Kamitsky fight, another one. I was obviously my old trainer. Just little things going on in the change room and not getting on with my other mates. Just cause an atmosphere. And I'm quite a mental. If I'm not mentally there, I don't perform physically. And that was that happened in that fight. I still should have won the fight one more round. I would have stopped Kamitsky, and it would have been put a massive statement out there. But then I ended up getting a draw. And people only started recognising, that I'd done well when not that Adam Etches, but.
Yeah, exactly.
Adam Etches is one of them fighters who's brought up fighting people who aren't really punching back, and he thought he was invincible, like when I fought Martin Murray. And it was a bit of a shock to him when he did get hit by Kamitsky. Because he is a strong boy, Kamitsky. He's on his train to trade with him. And I hope Adam Etches come back stronger from that fight. It shows what sort of man you are to come back stronger. You're going to come back with a different fight,
Kamitsky, you talk about that fight. Kamitsky has beaten Adam Etches, you mentioned. He also has beaten Frank Buglioni.
Yeah, I was there when he fought Frank Buglioni, and I was sparring with Frank Buglioni for that fight. And Frank was doing a lot of basics wrong. I was his sparring partner, and he was getting caught that right hand too much. And I said to him, "You need to keep your left hand up." I was like, because Kamitsky's a strong boy, and just watch the whole build-up to that fight. The whole interview with Frank Buglioni saying, I know I'm not going to stop Kamitsky. I'm going in there, it's going to point. You don't go into a fight trying to win. I'm going to point. You go in there to try and hurt that person and try and stop him. So straight away I knew he wasn't mentally there. Went into the fight, and he was dropping his left when he's throwing his jab, and he's dropping his right. So I just knew what the outcome was going to be. Unfortunately, I like Frank a lot, but I knew what the outcome was going to be in that fight. And again, Frank, he's trying to rebuild himself from that, and obviously he got beat in the last fight, but the fight for world title. But Kamitsky's a strong lad, and he's a good lad, and it'd be interesting. I'm going to watch him against John Ryder. I think John Ryder, he's got the boxing ability to make Kamitsky look stupid, but if he gets involved in a brawl with him, then it could be a different story,
Yeah. You're very, very knowledgeable about certain opponents and strategy. But what I want to do, I don't want to go into. I want to leave the Eubank fight till the end because I want to get to know more about Nick Blackwell, and I don't want this interview to just be about the Chris Eubank fight. I wanted to know a little bit more about your personality, and a little bit more about you and your knowledge about the sport and about the middleweight division around you. A lot of other things have been going on recently in the middleweight division. Obviously, Billy Joe Saunders has now won the WBO middleweight championship of the world against Andy Lee. What were your thoughts about Andy Lee and that fight?
Andy Lee, I thought he fought the wrong game plan. You don't counterpunch Billy Joe Saunders. And you put pressure on Billy Joe Saunders, and you put educated pressure on him, and you got to try and counter him at the same time. You don't stand there and wait for that one shot. That's what Andy Lee done. That's what he's done in most of his fights. And I knew Billy Joe Saunders was going to win that fight on points. I knew he was. Just because Andy Lee, the last couple of fights he's had, he's been getting outboxed by people nowhere near as good as a boxer as Billy Joe Saunders, and he's caught him that lucky punch. Billy Joe Saunders is a very, very, he's one of the best technically gifted boxers in the middleweight division. He's got very good foot movement, he's got very good head movement, he's got fast hands, he's very good timing, and he got himself in good shape for that fight. So I knew, and Andy Lee just waited for that one shot and just didn't put pressure on Billy Joe. And Billy Joe, in a lot of fights, he does well for 6-7 rounds and starts tiring out. He was fit as a fiddle for the whole 12 rounds because Andy Lee didn't put pressure on him. So he made it an easy night for Billy Joe Saunders. But don't take it away from Billy Joe. He fought a very, very good game plan and done exceptionally well and looked good doing it.
Now, I've given his trainer Adam Booth a lot of stick in my post-fight shows because I felt that Adam Booth did not inject the sort of aggression in Andy Lee.
But you know what? Adam Booth is like that with most of his fighters. They stand there, they throw their shots, and they're trying to counter punch and then move away. They won't. He does it with every single one. They're not busy. They're not busy fighters. They're left to counter punch and then move around. And with a style like that, you put the pressure on people like that. You put the pressure on people. And you don't, especially with Billy Joe Saunders, you got to put pressure on him. You can't stand there and do that to Billy Joe because it works in his favour. So I think he done it with Ryan Byrne. Is it Ryan Burnett? He signed on. I think it was his last fight. And, Kitty could have got him out there, but he didn't. He threw his combos and he was walking around the ring. And that's the sort of style that Adam Booth puts into his fighters. And it's just everyone can see it now. It's general knowledge what he does, and so. And that's what happened with Andy Lee on the night. Adam Booth's a very, very good trainer. He's very good in the corner. I'm not saying he's not a rubbish trainer, but that's generally most
what
of
he does with his fighters. Of course. So it was the wrong game plan for the night. I would like to have seen Lee actually, welcome Billy Joe Saunders to world-class boxing and hit him early and put him on the back foot and make him have to fight and test that stamina of Billy Joe's because we know...
Well, you know what? The best Andy Lee started looking is when he got hurt and he started actually throwing some shots.
Yes.
He started to catch Billy Joe. So why didn't when he had success when he was hurt? Why didn't he do it when he wasn't hurt? Why didn't he Because Billy Joe is not the biggest puncher. He's very sharp.
Yeah.
But with someone like you put pressure on him, you start throwing them big punches, especially if you're hitting hard. So I don't know what sort of game plan. I don't know. I just thought he looked quite old in the ring, Andy Lee. To be honest,
he didn't look great.
He didn't do great and just didn't come up with the best game plan. But like I said, don't take it away from Billy Joe Saunders. He fought very, very well and very good doing it.
Okay, another person that fought a week beforehand, Spike O'Sullivan.
Yeah.
Against the guy you're fighting next, Chris Eubank Jr. What are your assessment on that fight?
Strange one. As soon as Spike come out, he done everything wrong. Stood square on, put his guard down, encouraged Eubank to come up, but done everything wrong, but still had success doing that. He caught Eubank with some sloppy hooks, and he hurt Eubank. I know Spike. I like Spike a lot. He's a real nice bloke, very, very strong fighter, but he had something wrong with his. He's had it with Billy Joe and he had this fight, he gets hit and bursts his eardrum, he's got a surgery on it, and that's going to play a massive part when you're fighting. Obviously, you got no balance, you can't fight. And, but he just done everything wrong, but still had success. I think it's the best way to put it. And he must have been in a lot of pain to stop when he did. But, I don't know, just showed a lot of flaws in Eubank, but then showed that Eubank can take shots because he gets caught very clean. Spike does it hard. But Eubank, it shows that he's there to be hit. He's there to be hit. Spike's not the quickest fighters, but he got hit. He got tagged quite a lot. So, I thought Spike, if they had a rematch, he sort of like, it could be a different fight. I know he's not the sort of person to pull out on his corner. So, Yeah, I think it did really affect him. But, yeah.
So, is there anybody else in the middleweight division, in the British middleweight division, that you've looked at recently and you've seen, obviously, as champion?
I like to see what a good mate Tommy Langford, and I think he's improving quite a lot. He's a very good boxer. He hasn't really fought anyone yet. I know. I think he's fighting Lewis Taylor next. And Lewis Taylor's not a bad. He's not a bad fighter either. It's gonna be a good fight. I'm looking forward to watching that one. Tommy Langford's still very amateur style. He's got a very good work rate. He's very fast, very sharp with the shot. Not the strongest of lads. My brother fought him. He's not very strong. Well, I think when you're going to test him is when he fights him. He's tough. Keep coming forward. He's strong. And then we'll see what happens when he does get caught clean. You know, because a lot of fighters, you can have all the ability, but you got to have a heart. You got to be tough. You got to be strong. You know, you got to have all that genetically. So we'll see what happens when he does step up. I think it's a good test from the Lewis Taylor fight, and I think it's going to be a good one to watch. But I like Tommy Langford. Nice kiddie, and he's a good boxer. Anybody else in the British middleweight scene apart from your next fight? Dan Blackwell, he's up and coming.
Who's he?
He's my brother. Yeah, he's got a good record. I think he's had, I don't know, 5 wins, about 60 losses, so he's on the up. Do you know what? Jack Arnfield, yeah, he surprised me quite a lot. He come in last minute. He was a very tough lad, and he showed spells of quite good boxing ability. You know, I went into fight again, not 100%. I shouldn't have been in the ring really, but to me being me, just convincing myself I was all right. But I made it hard work for myself. So yeah, Jack's another one to watch. I think he'll come back stronger, 100%. Damon Jones was a very good boxer, you know. I think the middleweight division is very, very good now, and there's a lot of upcoming prospects. You had Chad Cummins. I know I've sparred with him before. He's very strong. Still got to learn, still get that experience in. But yeah, the middleweight division is buzzing. You know, it's buzzing at the moment. And yeah, that's a very, very good upcoming prospect.
Where do you rate Kamitsky?
Where do I rate him?
Yeah.
Do you know what I said about being strong, being tough?
Yeah.
You know, you genetically got to have that. He's got that. Not a very good boxer, but he's got that. You know, and when you're tough and you're strong, and you just keep on coming and wearing people down, you can beat the best boxers in the world. You know, just by tiring them out and catching them clean and putting people in positions where they've never been before. So in that aspect, I think Kamitsky is very good. You know, he's very good. You'll give any middleweight a hard night's work. Any middleweight, they give a hard night's work. Fighting Kamitsky is not an easy fight. You know, and especially when it wasn't easy for me when I was fighting over 6 rounds. It benefited him, especially the 6th rounder. I got in the actual ring, and my promoter Nick was having an argument with their promoter, arguing that they agreed to 8 rounds, and we was in the ring for 10 minutes staring at each other, waiting for him to sort it out. And in the end, the referee said, "Nick, if you don't do 6 rounds, the fight's off." So I just got in and we got involved. You know, 6-round fight with Kamitsky, but you know, it didn't do me any favours really. But I think Kamitsky thought it was going to be an easy fight. He thought he was going to get me out of there. He hit me with a few good shots, and otherwise, boy, was power. So I just put my guy, I walked him down, let him throw as many shots at me as possible, and he tired himself out. And then as when I started catching him clean, still, I was very raw back then. I was very raw, catching him clean. One more round, I got him out there. He spat his gum shot out twice. He didn't want to know. I hurt him with body shots. But and like I said, it would have been a massive statement for me. If it was an 8-round fight, I'd have beat him. I still went into that 6-round fight with the 8-round game plan, you know, but I only knew when I got steps inside the ring, you know, so it was a little bit of it just played in my head a little bit, but, you know, I got in there and just had to deal with what I had in front of me, you know.
Okay. As your British champion, did you have any ambitions to move further on European Championship fights, or maybe you're working towards a World Championship fights, or was it the fact that 100%. You were waiting for Chris Eubank Jr.?
I'm not waiting for Chris Eubank Jr. at all. I'm not waiting for him any longer, you know, because the fight used to be made 3 or 4 times and he's pulled out every time, you know, and why should I be waiting around for Chris Eubank Jr.? I'm doing my own thing. I'm concentrating on my own career. I'm not concentrating on his, you know, but now it's been made and it's in stone. You can't get away. He's got to fight now, you know, so I'm happy the fight's been made and it's actually, you know, it's going to happen. I never thought it was going to be. Never going to happen, to be fair. And if I was in his position, I would have wanted to fight for a world title. I see a lot of people where they say, why is he going for British? But he's not ready for a world title. That's why. You know, as much as he says he's ready for world title, he's not. So that's So fighting the Eubank fight is the fight that I've wanted. Not that I've been chasing, but the fight that I've wanted for a long time. And as much as me going and being the underdog in my head, I'm not the underdog at all. I'm going to train hard. I'm going to be the best Nick Blackwell there's ever been, and I will beat him 100%. I'm so confident in myself. I will beat him. I'm more confident than what I am going into the John Ryder fight. I'm twice as more confident. I was very confident going into that fight, and I am twice confident going into this fight that I will beat him and cause an upset. Not an upset in my head, but in the boxing public.
It's interesting because I don't know if you know, I actually interviewed Spike O'Sullivan because I live in Ireland, and I had a
okay.
Yeah, and I spent quite a while with Spike, sitting there and talking to him and the build-up of the fight. You know, I want the Eubank fight, I want the Eubank fight, I want the Eubank fight. We got the Eubank fight. And then, you know, he was like, you know, I'm going to beat Chris Eubank, I'm going to beat Chris Eubank, I need to fight. And, you know, he went in there and he did the stuff, he did as well as he could. I think to myself, you know what? If he goes in there with hands up, coming straight lines, he's going to get beat by Eubank because he's going to pull off those uppercuts all the time.
Exactly, and that's his best shot. His best shot. And he'd be looking at my last couple of fights when I come square on because I don't respect the people I'm fighting's power. Yeah. And I get caught with the uppercuts. But if that's what he thinks I'm going to be doing in this fight, he's totally wrong. And I change my style for every fight. And if that's what he's been counting on, an uppercut, then he's going to have to work that out, trust me.
You know, so now I'm hearing from you that, you know, your mentality is a little different. You're saying, well, you know what? I've not been chasing this fight. I've not been chasing it. You know, this fight was meant to be made before, and he's pulled out 3 times. Why do you think... But Spike's the same thing to me. Spike said he pulled out the fight before. So, is it because he's pulled out because...
Because he knows he's going to get beat. That's what it is. He knows he's going to get beat. Me and Eubank's Jr. Do you know what? I'm not disrespecting Chris Eubank because he's a very good fighter and he's a good boxer. And he's actually a nice kid. You know, I used to do a lot of sparring with him. We used to sit down and chat to him. He's a nice kid. Obviously puts everything on for camera to generate the publicity and stuff. But when we spar him, the more we sparred, the more I got on top of him. The last time we sparred, you know, he got out after 5 rounds. You know, we do 6 times, got out after 5, and Ronnie Davis came up to me because he needed that today. He needed a beating. And he said, you two will never ever fight unless there's a massive fight and for big money. You know? And this is a big fight, and it's for good money, for British title. It's very good money. And for me, it's not about the money. This is an investment fight for me. I'm going to beat Eubank Jr. up, and then the fights after that, they're going to be big fights. And it just shows that I reckon a lot of sacrifices. You know, things can happen. You know, but yeah, like I said, I wasn't chasing this fight just because so many times it was supposed to happen, and I just never believed it was going to happen. So why should I wait around for Eubank? I'm doing my own thing. He's doing his thing, and now we're going to clash and we're going to fight, and I'm happy.
This is the Nick Blackwell show. This is about Nick Blackwell. What does Nick Blackwell bring to this fight that Eubank? I'm fit. You know, I'm fit for 15 rounds. You know, and I'm going to be even fitter for this fight. So I'm going to be fit for 20 rounds. I'm fast. I've got very good boxing ability. Just never showed it into a fight. Never use it just because I don't have the time in the gym with Gary to actually bring that into the fight. I'm doing it all the time in sparring. I'm feeling very good. But I'm a pressure fighter. I put the pressure on. I'm strong. I'm tough. I've got a big heart. And, you know, he's going to have to hit me with everything he can to beat me, you know, because mentally I'm going to know exactly what I'm going to do to him. I know it's going to be a very, very tough fight, but that's why I'm training. I'm taking myself away. I've been training for a month before Christmas because I sort of knew what was happening. So I'm in very good shape now. I'm only like 7 pounds off my weight, which never usually happens. I'm taking myself away in Cardiff Monday to the fight. I'm not coming back home for weekends now. I've got a proper nutritionist on board. I eat healthy anyway, but that's just another little, you know, everything's going to be fine. I'm taking even better supplements than what I was taking. I've got a conditioner training now who's going to make me fitter and stronger. You know, I was fit and strong anyway. It's going to make me even stronger. And I got soft tissue work, so I can train harder each one session. So everything's come into place at the right time. And like I said, everything happens for a reason. And I'm for a reason because I'm going to beat Chris Eubank Jr. What does it take to beat Chris Eubank Jr.? Billy Joe Saunders showed us that, but
yeah, there's a number of ways to beat him. Billy Joe outboxed him, you know. Chris Eubank Jr. before that didn't fight anyone who really wanted to throw a shot back. So and fighting someone like Billy Joe Saunders. Billy Joe made him look stupid for 6-7 rounds. Let's be honest. Till Billy Joe got tired, and Eubank, he's a very fit lad, and he come on, he's very big, and Billy Joe's very small for weight. Eubank used his size against Billy Joe, so he probably was stronger than Billy Joe. But just showed that he wasn't a very good boxer. Me, I'm gonna be on his case. He likes fighting at his own pace. Eubank likes doing his little flurries and moving around the ring, doing all his little showboating, but you can't do that when somebody's on his case for 12 rounds. When somebody's on his case and he can't have one bit, he can't breathe. I'm gonna be there in front of him for the whole 12 rounds, and after it goes 12 rounds, I'm gonna be there. And so he's very fit, but we'll see how fit he is for a 12-round competitive fight. Someone on his case all the time. We'll see how fit he is.
Do you think he's improving with Adam Booth?
Yeah, he's improving each fight, I think. But in my eyes, he hasn't really fought anyone like me. I'm not saying Billy Joe Saunders is a very good boxer. I can box, but I'm honest, I can't box as well as Billy Joe Saunders. But I'm a totally different fighter as Billy Joe. So and Eubank likes to come forward. I like to come forward. You put them two styles together. It's going to be an interesting fight, and it's whoever's going to want it more on the night. And yeah, we're going to see. I'm going to put him in positions and places that he's never ever been before in any of his fights. He hasn't ever fought anyone with an engine like mine. You can hit as hard as me. You're as tough as me. He's going to keep coming forward. We'll see what happens when the going gets tough.
How do you differ to Spike O'Sullivan? Because Spike O'Sullivan was tough, he was strong, he could punch, he could come forward, he had a big engine. How do you differ to Spike O'Sullivan?
I can move better than Spike. I'm faster than Spike. I can hit as hard, maybe harder than Spike, with the speed. I'm fitter than Spike. I like Spike a lot, I don't like to disrespect Spike, but Spike's a very good fighter and he's a very insane fighter, but obviously I'm so confident in my own ability, and I'm just going to be on his case. I think Spike let him breathe a little bit when he wanted to. When he did go back, but when Eubank did go back to Travis' space and Spike coming in for a shot, he caught Eubank. He caught Eubank, and Eubank doesn't like that. He's not used to that. The Spike showed so many flaws in Eubank. He showed so many flaws, and if Spike was just a little bit fitter, he could have done. And he had that puncher's chance there. He could have beat him. Spike could have beat him, and I had a bet on Spike beating Eubank. So I believe that he had that power to trouble him. And he did trouble him.
What was the thing you learnt the most in that sparring session? The sparring sessions with Chris Eubank Jr.
I realised he's not very strong. Doesn't hit very hard. Very snappy. Very quick. Awkward. Eubank's a good boxer. He's very fast. He's a fit lad. But obviously everyone's got flaws. Everyone's got strengths. I found his strengths, and I found his flaws, and I suppose he found the same with me when we were sparring. We sparred about a year and a half ago, so we're both a lot better fighter. Now he's going to be stronger. I'm going to be stronger. He's going to be a better boxer. I'm going to be a better boxer. It's a very interesting fight. For the pair of us. Like I said, I'm not here to disrespect Eubank, because I actually think he's a very good boxer, and I don't dislike the kid. I think he's alright. Some of the stuff he does, I think, is a bit cringy and that, but it's just publicity, and to get people talking about him, and that's what he's doing.
Absolutely. Let's flip it. I don't normally ask the boxer this question, but I think I'm going to ask you this question. What does Nick Blackwell have to ensure he doesn't do to win against Chris Eubank Jr.?
Well, I haven't got to do. Just don't stand square on and get caught in them upcuts, because the last 3 fights that I've been doing, just because the John Ryder fight, I went mentally and I felt physically very good for that fight. Didn't perform very well though. Performed rubbish. The next 2 fights, I went in, the first one I had a virus, I shouldn't be fighting, and the next one I had an injury, and I should not have been in them fights. So that wasn't me. That just wasn't me. I thought, do you know what? I went into both them fights thinking I was going to lose the way I felt, and I shouldn't ever be feeling like that for a British title fight. So I made it hard for myself, and I didn't look good doing it. So if he's going to look at them for the last 3 fights and think, that's what it's going to be bringing to the table, it's not. Just don't want to be square on. Getting caught in my guts. you can't just say whatever. We just got to get it and do it.
Excellent stuff. Finally, I want to leave this till last because a man that I've met and I've got a lot of respect for, your promoter, Mick Hennessy.
Top man.
Talk to us about Mick Hennessy.
You know, I love the bloke. He's not a promoter in my eyes. To me, he's a really, really good friend.
Yep.
His family are really nice. He's a genuine, honest guy in boxing. Someone you can trust.
Yep.
Someone who's not there for money. He's there because he loves the sport and he cares about his fighters. And you can't say that about many promoters. I don't think you can say that about any promoters, to be honest.
Yeah.
If one of his fighters lost, he's there and he wants to rebuild him and he wants to get the best out of his fight. He looks after his fighters. He's a proper family man. He's got so much respect for Mick Hennessy, and he's done such a good job with me. I didn't ever have a big promoter, and to take me on, I can't thank him enough.
How did you meet Mick Hennessy?
It's weird. I was sparring at Frank Buglini, and I got spotted by some bloke who had a connection with Mick Hennessy and got me in touch with Mick to have a meeting with him, and it went from there. We got on really well, and he just said, I want to promote somebody, a real person. I'm fed up with promoting the Eubanks, and at the time the girls, not I like the girl, I like them a lot, but obviously it was just he wanted to work with somebody who hasn't got these big titles, right? He wanted to work with somebody who hasn't come from anything, so get something, and he just thought I was a genuine guy, I suppose, as well. So we just got on really well, and obviously it just went from there.
Nick Blackwell, how do people get in contact with you?
Contact with me?
Yeah, fans like Twitter, Facebook, that's them.
Yeah, I got quite a bit of time on my hands now for next week. So whenever someone writes on Twitter, I'll try and give out to every single person I can, just because I don't want to be one of them people who think I'm better than everyone. I'm just the same old Nick Blackwell, what it was a couple of years ago. Because you're fighting on TV and you're doing all right, and you're the British time. It doesn't change you one little bit, and I'll always be the same. I don't ever want to be one of them people who look down and think I'm better than anyone else, because I can't stand people out when I was younger who done well for themselves and they look down on me. I don't want to be one of them people. I'm just down to earth guy. So if someone wants to, if they're a big fan and they want to go on Twitter, and they want to speak to me, I'll just give them a call or something. Give them my number, we have a little chat. That's the guy I am. I don't take myself too seriously.
Nick Blackwell, thank you so much for talking to Baylor. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for the call. It's good talking to you.
You too. Take care, champ.
Nice one. Have a good weekend, mate.
Take care.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.